Head over to miniaturemarket.com where they have thousands of board games at discounted prices, and you can sign up for product alerts. Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today it's all about the pirates, and the mermaids, and the krakens in the ocean. Today, we'll be taking a look at Skull King. Now, I have previously reviewed a version of Skull King, so I'm not going to go over how the games play, but a new version has come out that's even more widely available in North America. And so I'm doing sort of an update here. I'm going to show you what's new, because this one comes with an expansion built in, and they have some new artwork, some things work differently. So I'm going to basically show you what's new in this version, and then on the other side, I'm going to tell you what do I think of this version versus the previous one from Europe that I reviewed that I said that was the version to get. Is this now the new version? Let's find out. As I mentioned in the intro, I already reviewed Skull King, so I'm not going to teach you how the game works here. If you want to learn more about that, in the link in the description of this video, I have placed that review that you can see it. But now I'm just going to go over all the different cards in the game and what they look like and what the new ones do. Now here's the art on some of the suits. The green is the parrots, the gold is the treasure, the purple is the maps. These are the Trump suit there, and then you have the escape ones with the white flag. Now here's the art for the 5 pirates. I had a lot of problems with the original artwork. They looked like real pirates, where this is a little more cartoony. They still look pretty realistic. I might still like the pirates better in the Schmidt Spiel version, but this is definitely a better upgrade. I don't dislike this art like I did in the original one from the Grandpa Beck's publishing company. Also, here are the expansion rules. Is when you play one of these pirates, you can use one of its special ability. For example, this one can help change your bid by 1 or -1. This one allows you to look at all the undealt cards, which might really help you knowing if the Skull King's there or not, in play. This one you can wager 10 or 20 points to try to win more, and this one allows you to discard 2 cards, draw 2 and then discard 2 cards. Now here is the Tigress. This was new for this version. You can use it as a pirate or as an escape. The Kraken is cool. If it's played, the entire trick blows up. Nobody wins anything. Everything gets discarded. There's 2 loot cards. This is cool when you play one of these. It's an escape, so it gets you out of a trick. But you pick a player and you align with them. If you both make your bids, you both get 20 extra points. Really cool to actually be working with somebody for a change. The 2 mermaids, which I'm glad they added into this game. The mermaids, let's look at this here. This is a cheat sheet as to how things work. Now, the mermaids are higher than the Jolly Roger Trump suit, but they get defeated by pirates. However, if the Skull King's out there, the mermaid can beat the Skull King. So now you can't just play the Skull King, I like the way this one looks, and just know you're going to win the trick. You might get beat by a mermaid, and if the mermaid takes the Skull King and they make their bid, they get a 50-point bonus. So those are sort of the new things that were, again, some of these were in the Schmidt Spiel version. This one was not, but all these 3 were. And that's so the art and sort of how the new things work in the expansion. And again, you don't have to play with the expansions. You can play with the base game if you want to. All right, so this new version from Grandpa Beck's. As I mentioned in the intro, the original Grandpa Beck's was a version I did not like. I did not like the artwork as much as this Schmidt Spiel version. I did not like that there wasn't the mermaid, which added a lot of tactical strategy in the game. And in my previous review, I actually made a pretty big mistake. I apologize to Grandpa Beck's, because I actually thought Schmidt Spiel in Europe had come out with the game first, and then Grandpa Beck sort of streamlined and took things out and made it more family friendly, which actually the opposite happened. This was originally Grandpa Beck's game. Schmidt Spiel redid it for Europe, and they added some things. So apologize to Grandpa Beck's there. And at that time, when those 2 versions were out, in my review, I told everyone, get the Schmidt Spiel version. It's harder to find, but it's a much better game, because it was. And I like the art better, and that's subjective. But now we have this new version. So what do I think? The new art is much, much better than the old version, for sure. It's to the point, the old version was like, I don't even want to play this because it looks so silly, but this is fine. I enjoy it. I probably still might prefer the other art and Schmidt Spiel version better, but it doesn't matter. This one's fine. They updated it, and I like what they did with this. They added the mermaids in, which is what the Schmidt Spiel version had, that I was mad that the other version didn't. And I'm glad they added this in because it really does add a lot of strategy where you capture the pirates, sorry, it's captured by pirates, but it can capture the Skull King, the only card that can do that. And it just, that little twist changes the game dramatically. I really love, this is brand new, this was not in any other version. They have the abilities for the pirates, which is really cool. And you don't have to play with them at first, which is cool. You can just play like normal, but then after players all know what's going on, they've all played, throw in those pirate abilities, and that really does add a lot more depth to the game, a lot of tacticalness about when to play that pirate and things like that. The loot cards with the escape and alliances, I like that too, because it's another way to escape, which makes it a little bit easier to bid 0, which was always pretty hard in this game, especially in the higher rounds. And this makes it a little bit easier to do that. But I really like the alliance because you're aligning with another player and you're trying to make them make their bid, and that's just fun because usually you're trying to always mess other people's bids up, but now when you're working with somebody, it's just a simple twist, but it makes the game that I loved even more enjoyable. The Kraken's cool. It doesn't come out too often. I think there's only one of them, and when you throw it in, it just destroys the entire trick. And some players might think, oh, that stinks but you know, having those extra loot ones that I just talked about with extra escapes kind of like balances this from messing other players up and such. But this is another one, a good throw in there, boom, the whole trick explodes, screwing other players' bids up, that's fine. The bid reminder cards are excellent. I used to bring out these, I had bought these little pirate tokens, these plastic cheap ones, and I would put one out in front for everyone that, you know, for every card that they bid. Let's say you bid 5 tricks you're gonna win. You put 5 tokens out in front. Well, this now, I don't have to do that anymore because this has the bid reminder card. You can easily see how many tricks people have bid, and it's right next to all their tricks, so you can clearly see how many they need left. I love this. It facilitates the game so much more. Now on the negative side of things, the pirate abilities. I talked about how awesome they are. I really wish, and they would probably try to be language independent here, I'm guessing, but I really wish the abilities were written on the card. Because you get your card, your hand dealt, and you get it, and then if you're looking at the player aid in detail, people probably know you have a pirate and you're trying to figure out what that does, and it can change the dynamics of the game. I really there was room on the card. They should have just put the text there for the pirate abilities. So what do I think about this? Up until this, I'd always said get the Schmidt Spiel version, and I can also say that this is my favorite trick-taking game of all time. And everybody I've introduced it to has also said, wow, this is my favorite trick-taking game of all time. I've gotten lots of emails of people going, thank you for turning me on to this. This is our favorite trick-taking game of all time. So what about this? I always would steer you away from Grandpa Beck's, but now I'm telling you, with this expansion, I like it better than the Europe version from Schmidt Spiel. And this is great for people in North America because it's a lot easier to find. You can find it anywhere. It's about $15 online. And it's, you know, it's a better version of the game. So I can wholeheartedly say, get this version of Skull King. It is the best. And I'm not going to do another Saxophone Serenade because I already did one in the original review. By the way, if you want to see that original review, I put that link in the description of this video. This has been the Game Boy Geek, breaking down barriers, growing relationships through board games by helping you find the next one you'll love. Did you miss the Game Topper 2.0 Kickstarter? Have no fear, it's not too late to get in on the ultimate gaming accessory. Convert your table into a high-quality gaming table with a fully portable Game Topper system and take advantage of some of the best 3mm premium gaming mats in the industry. New styles, new sizes, and new accessories can be yours. Upgrade every game you play by late backing now at GameToppersLLC.com.